There are a lot of incidents that seem completely innocent at first, but when you really dig deep into what actually happened, things get way darker than you'd ever imagine. Today, we're uncovering the most disturbing incidents that shocked the internet and left people questioning everything they thought they knew. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay safe, Robinhos. So picture this: you're scrolling through TikTok, minding your own business, when suddenly you come across footage of the most bizarre incident ever recorded. I'm talking about the infamous Charlie the Steak phenomenon that literally broke the internet in 2023. For those who don't know, Charlie the Steak was this weird interactive game where you could poke, prod, and basically torture this digital piece of meat. Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. What started as a silly game quickly turned into something way more sinister when people began reporting that after playing Charlie the Steak, they would receive mysterious notifications on their phones at exactly 3:17 a.m. These weren't normal notifications either, they were messages that seemed to know personal details about the players' lives. One user claimed their phone showed a notification saying Charlie knows where you sleep along with their exact address. The creepiest part? The game wasn't even running when these messages appeared. But that's not even the worst part, Robinhos. Reports started flooding in from all over the world about people experiencing what they called phantom steak syndrome, where they would smell raw meat for days after playing the game, even when there was no meat anywhere near them. Some users even claimed they would wake up with red marks on their arms that looked suspiciously like the marks they made on Charlie in the game. The whole situation got even more disturbing when a data breach allegedly revealed that Charlie the Steak was collecting way more information than it should have been. We're talking location data, browsing history, and even access to your camera and microphone. Imagine playing what you think is an innocent game about poking a steak, only to find out it's been watching and listening to you the entire time. The developers never addressed these claims directly, which honestly makes it even more terrifying. Speaking of terrifying incidents, let's talk about the great Skibidi toilet hypnosis incident of 2023. Yeah, you heard that right. What seemed like a harmless meme about singing toilets suddenly became a global concern when parents started reporting that their kids were exhibiting strange behaviors after watching these videos. Kids would randomly start humming the Skibidi tune at all hours of the night, and some even claimed they could hear the toilets talking to them when they were alone in the bathroom. The incident escalated when a group of child psychologists released a study suggesting that the repetitive nature and flashing lights in these videos could potentially trigger hypnotic states in developing brains. Multiple schools across the United States actually banned students from singing or referencing Skibidi toilet after reports of mass synchronized humming sessions during lunch breaks. Imagine being a teacher and walking into your classroom to find 30 kids all humming the exact same tune in perfect unison without any coordination. That's nightmare fuel right there. Then there was the infamous pink sauce lady incident that literally had people getting sick. For those who missed this chaos, a woman started selling homemade pink sauce online without proper food safety certifications. People were ordering this mysterious pink concoction not knowing what was actually in it. The incident turned dark when customers started reporting stomach problems, weird reactions, and some bottles arrived completely spoiled or with strange odors. The FDA had to get involved, and it was discovered that the sauce was being shipped without proper refrigeration and contained ingredients that could be potentially harmful. What made this incident even more disturbing was that the creator continued selling the sauce even after people reported getting sick. Social media was flooded with horror stories of people opening packages to find moldy, separated, or foul-smelling sauce that looked nothing like what was advertised. But here's where things get really weird, Robinhos. After the pink sauce incident went viral, copycat sellers started popping up everywhere, creating their own mystery sauces and selling them online. It became like a twisted trend where people would risk their health just to try these unknown concoctions for social media content. Some of these knockoff sauces were later found to contain everything from expired ingredients to actual harmful chemicals. The most disturbing part of all these incidents is how quickly they spread and how many people got caught up in them without realizing the potential dangers. The Charlie the Steak privacy concerns, the Skibidi toilet psychological effects, the pink sauce health risks, they all shared one common thread. What seemed innocent and fun on the surface had much darker implications underneath. What's really unsettling is how these incidents reveal just how vulnerable we all are to viral trends and how quickly something can go from harmless entertainment to a genuine safety concern. The fact that millions of people participated in these phenomena without fully understanding what they were getting into is honestly terrifying when you think about it. Even more disturbing is how these incidents exposed the lack of proper oversight on social media platforms. These trends were able to reach massive audiences, potentially causing real harm, before anyone stepped in to address the problems. It makes you wonder what other seemingly innocent viral content might actually be hiding something much more sinister. And here's what really keeps me up at night, Robinhos. These incidents aren't isolated events. They're part of a much larger pattern that's been happening for years. Remember the Tide Pod Challenge? The Benadryl Challenge? The Penny Challenge? Each time, millions of people participated in potentially dangerous activities just because they went viral online. It's like we're living in some kind of twisted social experiment where our safety is constantly being tested by whatever trend happens to blow up next. What's even more terrifying is how sophisticated these incidents are becoming. The Charlie the Steak situation wasn't just a random game. Someone had to program all those data collection features. Someone had to design it to access your personal information. And the timing of those 3:17 a.m. notifications? That's way too specific to be a coincidence. It's almost like someone was deliberately trying to create the most unsettling experience possible. The psychological impact of these incidents is something that researchers are only just beginning to understand. There are reports of people developing genuine phobias after participating in certain viral challenges. Some individuals claim they can't eat steak anymore after playing Charlie the Steak, while others say they get anxiety attacks whenever they hear the Skibidi toilet theme. These aren't just temporary reactions. We're talking about lasting psychological effects that could impact people for years to come. But here's the part that really freaks me out. What if these incidents are actually connected? What if there's some kind of pattern or purpose behind them that we're not seeing? Think about it. Each incident targets a different aspect of human behavior. Charlie the Steak exploited our curiosity and willingness to download random games. The Skibidi toilet phenomenon targeted our need for repetitive, catchy content. The pink sauce incident preyed on our desire to try new and exotic things for social media clout. It's like someone is studying human psychology on a massive scale, using viral incidents to see how far people will go and what they're willing to risk for internet fame. And the scariest part? It's working. Every single one of these incidents reached millions of people worldwide, and despite the documented dangers, people kept participating even after the risks became known. The data collected from these incidents is probably worth millions to the right buyers. Your location data, your behavioral patterns, your willingness to take risks, all of this information is incredibly valuable to companies, researchers, and potentially much more sinister organizations. When you participated in these trends, you weren't just risking your immediate safety, you were potentially compromising your long-term privacy in ways you might never fully understand. And here's something that will definitely give you nightmares. According to some internet investigators, there are entire forums dedicated to creating the next viral incident. These aren't just pranksters or bored teenagers. These are organized groups with sophisticated knowledge of psychology, social media algorithms, and data harvesting techniques. They study previous incidents, analyze what made them successful, and then engineer even more effective ways to manipulate viral trends. The most disturbing reports suggest that some of these groups are actively competing to see who can create the most widespread incident with the greatest psychological impact. They have ranking systems, success metrics, and detailed analyses of which demographics are most susceptible to different types of viral content. It's like a game to them, except the consequences are very real for the millions of people who get caught up in their experiments. What makes this even more chilling is that these incidents are getting more sophisticated and harder to detect. The early viral challenges were obviously dangerous. Anyone could see that eating Tide Pods or taking excessive amounts of Benadryl was harmful. But newer incidents like Charlie the Steak or the Skibidi toilet phenomenon are much more subtle. The dangers aren't immediately obvious, which means people are more likely to participate without realizing the potential risks. The fact that children and teenagers are the primary targets of these incidents makes everything infinitely worse. Young people are naturally more impulsive, more likely to follow trends, and less likely to consider long-term consequences. They're also more vulnerable to psychological manipulation and less equipped to recognize when their privacy or safety is being compromised. So the next time you see a new viral trend starting to blow up online, ask yourself these questions. Who created it? What information am I giving away by participating? What are the potential long-term consequences? And most importantly, is this trend designed to benefit me, or is it designed to benefit someone else at my expense? Now, I'm not saying these incidents were intentionally designed to cause harm, but after learning all this, I don't think I'll ever trust viral internet trends the same way again. The internet is full of people who want to exploit your curiosity, your desire to fit in, and your willingness to take risks for social media content. Every click, every download, every participation in a viral trend is potentially giving someone else power over your life in ways you might never realize. Stay safe, Robinhos, and remember, just because millions of people are doing something doesn't mean it's safe. Just because it looks innocent doesn't mean it actually is. And just because it's fun doesn't mean someone isn't profiting from your participation in ways you never agreed to. Trust your instincts, do your research, and never forget that on the internet, you're not just the audience, you're often the product being sold. Sweet dreams.